This is Lucia. Lucia? Ganyu? This is Ganyu. Ganyu is a limited rupture support agent. How do you know? I want you to take a look at this character. I want to zoom in. Do you see that? She's in uniform. This is not a coincidence. The shorts do not lie. These characters all wear matching uniforms. That's how you know she's a rupture support. Think, viewer, think. The shorts don't lie. It's not a coincidence. All limited rupture characters must wear chest-high booty shorts. Those are the rules. It hasn't been proven wrong. We're 4 for 4 on this. The shorts don't lie. Eula rupture confirmed? She's not here yet, but maybe. But yes, this is Lucia. Or Lucia? Lucia. We're gonna go with Lucia. We're just gonna go with Lucia, all right? Simple pronunciation. Yes, I can do Lucia, but whatever, it's fine. We'll worry about it later. We'll fix it later. Fine, we'll fix it later. So let's start by establishing how this character supports rupture agents, okay? Are you looking to save money on top-ups? You should be using LD Shop. This is a top-up service for Zenlesszonezero, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, any gacha game of your choice. It is safe and reliable. You can save up to 22% off for your top-ups, and the Internaut membership normally costs $4.99 in the official store, but here it's only this much. It's very easy to top up. Simply enter your UID, server region, and shortly after, you'll get the product directly on your account. Get a 15% off coupon for signing up with my link below. You can also get an additional 5% off coupon. If you spend $80 in 1 month, you get a free Internaut membership. That is LD Shop with my link in the description below. Are you saving money? You should be saving money. She is an ether support agent. Effectively, this is our S rank replacement for Pan Yin-Hu. She gives shear, she gives crit damage, she gives damage bonus, she gives HP percent, and she gives buffs from the engine. How does she do this? She does this when her resource bar fills up. The actual kit itself has a lot of overcomplicated bullshit and Chuny name bullshit. I have written it all out, and I'm going to explain it, but real quick, at the top, here is the TLDR. It's the same kit as Yuzuha. She generates resources from doing things, which creates aftershocks that apply the buff. Now we're gonna actually talk about the specifics. First thing you need to know about are Echo Strikes. You need to know about the Dream State. You need to know about Dream Points, and you need to know that her buffs can be named Force Through, Echo Veil, and Fierce Attack. Those are the words that you're gonna need to look out for. Now we're going to start explaining them. Lucia's attacks can be considered Echo Strike or Great Echo Strike. This applies to essentially all of her attacks, and the difference between them matters for applying a buff. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. When Echo Strikes are used, Lucia can enter the Dream State if she has 100 Dream Points. Dream Points are accumulated by any Echo Strike as long as she is not currently in the Dream State. Her core resource are these Dream Points. They get accumulated from all of her attacks. When it is full, it will stop increasing and will start decreasing with her attacks. It will decrease in intervals. So it caps out at 100, and it will decrease in intervals of 25 as she fires off aftershocks while in the Dream State. So every 6 seconds, while Lucia is in the Dream State, she will do a Great Echo Strike aftershock attack. These aftershock Great Echoes apply a buff called Fierce Attack. Fierce Attack is just a 20 damage bonus buff for 8 seconds. Because her aftershocks go off every 6 seconds, that's how this buff gets applied. Additionally, regular Echo Strikes are considered Great Echo Strikes while Lucia is in the Dream State. When Echo Strikes are upgraded to Great Echo Strikes by the Dream State, it will also apply the Fierce Attack buff, but because it lasts 8 seconds and is applied by the aftershock that hits every 6 seconds, that doesn't matter, and we can ignore it. Additionally, when Lucia enters the dream state, she will apply Ether Veil to the battlefield. This is a new effect. It's a visual effect. It darkens the sky, exactly like a Genshin character. More Genshin content is coming. Genshin mentioned? Genshin content? While Ether Veil is active, all agents will get 5% more HP. This is a final HP multiplier, so it is literally 5% more HP. It's great. It's just a small little buff, but it does matter for some mechanical stuff. Additionally, the duration of Ether Veil is extended by Lucia's EX special attack and her ultimate attack, or if it is still active and she re-enters the dream state. But it will most likely not be active when she enters the dream state. It gets extended by 12 seconds from her EX special and 24 seconds from her ultimate. That's possibly going to change. We'll see. Most of this is probably going to change. But those are the specifics. The big buff in her kit is called Force Through. All Great Echo attacks while Lucia is in the dream state will apply the Force Through buff for 20 seconds. This is her sheer buff that starts at 300 and can be up to 900. You want it to be closer to the max than to the minimum, but I'm giving the range. And 30% crit damage. So this is applied by any Great Echo attack while she is in the dream state for 20 seconds. So this buff will always be active. The only buff that will have downtime is the Fierce Attack buff, because she won't have access to the aftershocks while she is not in the dream state. That's fine. It's a small enough buff. You can have downtime on it. It's okay. Are you still following me? Do you see why I said this kit is very overcomplicated and can be boiled down very simply if we just ignore all of the mechanics in the background? I know. I wish it would be more simple in text. I should mention that we don't know what kind of damage type her aftershock is because it's not currently labeled. We'll see. But yes. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna try to do more Zenless content. More Genshin content is coming. Did you know most of you watching are not currently subscribed? You should subscribe. So you're gonna do things. Doing things builds up this meter. When the meter is full, she will do aftershocks over time that apply buffs. When that meter is not full, you will do things to re-enter the meter as soon as possible. She currently cannot generate dream points while she is in the dream state. That may change. Cool. Much more simple, we're going to talk about drive discs. It's HP, HP, ER. You can use HP slot 6 with an energy regen main stat engine, but if you do that, make sure you're using 2-piece ER. So the general build is going to be HP, HP, ER with 2-piece ER or 2-piece HP. You're just going to build as much HP as you possibly can. Her best drive disc set is going to be the new one, Moonlight Lullaby. It's a brand new set. It's releasing with Seed and Orphe. It's the sport set that gives 18 damage bonus on EX Special and Ultimate. I will mention, Lucia currently has no quick assists. That is probably going to change, but I'm going to mention it here because I think it's relevant. Essentially, you can't really use Astral Voice as effectively. Regarding her buff, it scales on the amount of HP she has over 8,000. So if you're using her S rank engine with 2 PCR, you need 10 to 11 HP percent subs. I'm giving a range depending on the amount of flat HP subs you have. If you were curious what the range is for, that's why. If you have 2-piece HP, it's going to be 6 or 7 HP percent subs. Or if you use any engine that is not the limited S rank with an ER slot 6 with 2-piece HP, it's 16 to 17 HP percent subs. If you do not use 2-piece HP, if you use 2-piece ER instead, it is 20 to 21. So you begin to understand that if you want to use an ER slot 6 with any engine of your choice, you are most likely not going to cap this buff. That is not a problem. That is perfectly okay. I feel like a broken record because I keep trying to repeat this over and over again. We saw it with Yuzuha, we saw it with Jifuvu. It's okay to not max these things out. It's not that big of a deal. Just because you can only reliably max it with the engine, or you can only easily max it with the engine, does not mean the engine is necessary. It does not even necessarily mean the engine is good, which is something we're definitely going to talk about. If you use HP slot 6 with any engine, 2 PCR, it's 10 to 11 again, and 6-7 with HP percent, 2-piece. Which is something you probably shouldn't do, so it doesn't really matter. Regarding engines, her S rank engine is called Dreamlit Hearth. It actually has a name. I'm surprised. It's an HP main stat. It gives 0.55 energy per second right now, and it gives 12.5% res shred while the ether veil is active. So while the ether veil is not active, the res shred from this is not being applied. What does that actually mean in practice? Not super sure. It means there could be downtime on this buff, or the ether veil could be adjusted to always be active, and it won't really matter in the end. If you're not pulling your S rank engine, your options are the usual suite: Game Ball, Weeping Cradle, the Vault, and Kaboom the Cannon. Weeping Cradle gives energy regen, and it gives damage bonus after hitting enemies with attacks. Because Lucia has Aftershock attack, she can use Weeping Cradle just like Yuzuha. Lucia is an ether agent, and she's best played with an ether agent or an ice agent. So we get to talk about the Game Ball. If you're not familiar, the Game Ball is the Battle Pass engine. It gives 12 to 20% crit rate depending on the refinement or overclock phase or whatever, after hitting enemies that are weak to that element. It's also an energy regen main stat. Giving crit rate is difficult to build around, but 20% crit rate is a lot of stat. It's a lot of stat. Game Ball is technically the best support engine in the game. If you are obsessed with the highest possible scoring DA runs, you should know this by now. Game Ball is the secret sauce, and this character is no exception. You can Game Ball, or you can Weeping Cradle, and it won't really make a difference. Game Ball and Weeping Cradle should be somewhat comparable to the Dreamlit Hearth, obviously depending on how many HP percent subs you have and how many you can build. The Vault might be good. We don't actually know what damage type her Aftershocks are right now because it's not labeled. So if they're EX special hits, then the Vault is very good. The traditional engine option is Kaboom the Cannon. Because Lucia buffs Rupture agents, Kaboom the Cannon is technically less good than it usually is, but it's still going to be more than a valid option. Reiterating what the buffs are, it's up to 900 shear, 5% HP, 30 crit damage, 20 damage bonus, 18 damage bonus from the set, and 12.5% red shred if you use her S rank engine, or any engine effect of your choice. If we want to try to quantify the value of those stats, it's the same case as Lucy versus Astra, where Lucia is twice the buff value of Pan Yin Hu, or Astra for Yi Sen, ending up as a roughly 30% Yi Sen damage increase. I'm going to give a range on that though. I'm going to say 25 to 30%, maybe even 20 to 30%. Just because of some uptime shenanigans. But she does more days than both of those characters in theory, so she's just gonna be better. And it's gonna be pretty significant. If you enjoy playing Yi Sen and you wanna make your Yi Sen stronger, I think I strongly recommend Lucia right now. So you already know, talking about Yi Sen, there is not a mechanical thing that makes Lucia great for Yi Sen teams besides doing some more days than Astra and Pan Yin Hu, but it's an upgrade. It's a significant one. So number one team recommendation, it's going to be Yi Sen. The other team recommendation is a brand new character in the update. It's Idhari. All of the same statements about Yi Sen still apply. The buff is incredible. Idhari uses all the same stats. She's going to have a video soon. It's going to be probably the video after this one. She has a mechanic, which is when the ether veil opens or is extended, Idhari heals. This allows her to drain more of her own HP, which gives her more decibels. So playing Lucia with Idhari means Itari can generate more decibels and use her ultimate attack more often, outside of just being a mathematically strong buffer. I should mention this because I found it neat. Technically, Lucia is a stronger buffer for rupture agents than Lighter is for fire and ice agents. To kind of put that in perspective, so we have a brand new ice DPS, and because you can't play Lighter with them because they are rupture, you are better off using Lucia and a better teammate instead of playing around Lighter's restriction. That's something we will talk about more when we cover Itari and maybe even Monato. Do you want me to quickly comment on Monato? He's currently not actually fully implemented, so he's going to get pretty significant changes, but he looks fine. All right, he looks fine. Lucia is, just like Yuzuha, an incredibly strong support agent in incredibly simple ways, and this character is very blatantly very good. If you play Yusun, I would strongly recommend you pull Lucia.